check-in. All right, and I want you to finish your statement. Same statement, okay? Same statement. We're gonna do a little check-in. In one word, I feel in blank. All right. Okay. So let me, what's that blank? In one word, I feel blank. Okay. Okay. Accomplished, encouraged, optimistic, wonderful, ready, victory. Okay. Kawaii, excited, refreshed, ready, motivated. Better. I love that. Better is saying that we're moving up. It's only up from here. Ready, accomplished. Yes. Motivated, encouraged. Yes, encouraged, motivated. Okay, listen. Already, y'all, we're winning. We're winning. We're winning with the mindset before we even get started. Before we even get started, we're already with the mindset. Man, do y'all know how excited that makes me feel? Whew, that's half of the battle. But before we get to doing any Photoshop work, any graphic work, we're going to get to the business. We're going to get to the business, and the part of getting to the business that we're going to focus on today is let's do a little recap, because I noticed there's some new people here. Okay, if this is your first time or your first day in the challenges, day 2 of the challenge, but if this is your first day, give me a number 1 in the chat. Let me see how many people just joined and didn't get a chance to be here yesterday, but this is your first time, whether either you missed yesterday or you just joined. Go ahead and give me a 1. Okay. All right. I have a few ones here. So if you're a 1, I held up a 2, but if you're a 1 right now, I want you to let me know if you did yesterday's assignment. Now, yesterday's assignment was a lot of the preparation work, but the only thing that I had you physically do was pretty much save 2 files, and maybe even just 1 file, right? So 1 file would have been your main image that you're going to use for this design, and 1 may have been an accent image or like a logo or something to that effect. Okay, so if you're a 1 and you did that, I want you to give me a 100. And if you did not do that, I want you to give me a 0, so I know where everybody stands. Okay. We got some zeros. Okay, listen, we're gonna do a little example right now, so we won't have time to go full on into the research methods that we used yesterday. The point of yesterday was we really identified our customer, and we identified our avatar or our ideal customer. And a lot of us figured out that our ideal customer is either like us, or we are, or the other end of that is we're kind of like, we're almost our identification of what is not our ideal customer. Hey, E, I think your mic is on, baby. There we go. Okay. So if you are not even your ideal customer, or what the type of customer that you want, you should pretty much be that customer so that you understand that customer, so that you empathize with that customer, you know how to market to that customer. If not, then you should at least make sure that you're catering to that customer. And you can be whatever kind of customer you want to be, but make sure that whatever you're doing, you're marketing to that customer. So we talked about a couple of different avatars yesterday. I got some people waiting to get in the room. We go ahead and let them in. And then what we did was we downloaded an image that we're going to work with for our template. Now we're going to work on the template tomorrow, but what we're going to do today is we're going to prep our work. Okay. And then I'm going to check over you. So for those who didn't get a chance to download yet, we're going to go through this one time, and Emma, we're going to use your screen. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to use Emma's screen, and we're going to show you how you would download your image. Okay. And you could do your if you want to do an accent image, you could do that later. For those of you who just have a 0, we don't want to take up time redoing what we did yesterday. So we're just going to download a main image today. We're going to show you how to cut it out, right? And then that's going to be our workload for today. Super simple. Usually I have y'all do that for homework, but I told you with this challenge, I want to leave nothing to chance. I want to make sure we do everything together here so that you understand how easy this is. This is easy stuff. All right. It's easy stuff, but you just have to do the work. Okay. So one thing I want to address for today. So our mental check was great. I'm impressed. Everybody's got this positive energy. Everybody's ready to go. All right. And I want to address one of our fears. So, we had our roundtable discussion. We had all of these fears that came out. And one of the major fears, we talked about procrastination. Okay. So I need some feedback right now. I need y'all to wave at me if you think you are a procrastinator, or you at least know someone who you think is a procrastinator. Let's wave. Be truly honest. Come on. You don't have to be that procrastinator. Some of us are not those procrastinators, and we need those people in life, right? So if you have an issue with procrastination, I want you to know, and this is directly coming from one of my mentors, that procrastination is not actually the problem. Okay. The problem is procrastination is a symptom of the true problem. And the true problem is we do what we feel like doing. Humans are motivated to do whatever it is that they do, right? We're only going to do what we feel like doing. For instance, even if we have to go to work, whether we feel like it or not, we feel like we need that check. So we're going to go to that 9-to-5 job, right? So we're going to do what we feel like. Otherwise, what's the point of doing anything? So a lot of times the reason why we're procrastinating, or we're not getting to the work, we're not getting to the progress, we're not actually putting in the effort, is because there's something mentally holding us back. All right. So we're going to do an exercise today. And I'm going to see if I can draw on my screen. I've never tried this with the whiteboard feature. I'm going to try something new tonight. I'm learning stuff too. All right. I thought I saw somebody that needed to be let in, but now I don't see them. So, okay, maybe I'll hear the noise if they come back in. Let me try this one more time just to see if I'll hear them. Yeah, there it is. Admit. And I'll play the sound. Okay, so if anybody gets kicked out and needs to come back in, I should hear the sound when you come back in. All right, let me try this whiteboard thing. And where is my, here's my pen. All right, let's try a whiteboard here. And if y'all have a sheet of paper, I want you to put this down. Would you like a sheet of paper? Okay. So, and then we're going to be just as crude. I do not want y'all to worry about what this is going to look like. This is not art class at this very moment. And here's a pen. All right. All right, so let me do my whiteboard. Well, how about this? If you have a pen and paper, hold it up for me. Let me see how many people are drawing right now. Y'all got something? Okay. If it allows me to save my whiteboard, then I'll let you use it if you don't have anything to draw with right now, okay? All right, let's see if we can do this. Let's do whiteboard, new whiteboard, open and collaborate. Ooh, it says all participants can edit. Look at that. Y'all might be able to draw on my whiteboard. Cool. But listen, don't draw on the whiteboard. Let me draw on the whiteboard, okay?
And what did you get for all participants?
Well, maybe I'll have somebody participate later. We'll see. Sometimes I do things on the fly. Y'all don't be knowing, but I be making a lot of stuff up. Did I just give that away? I'm sorry. Everything that I do is very well planned out. I am not a procrastinator.
Wait, what all right. Is a procrastinator?
Procrastinator is someone who waits until the last moment, or someone who is not to procrastinate, because somebody can procrastinate and not be necessarily a procrastinator. A procrastinator is someone who habitually or does this type of thing all the time, waits until the last moment, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to tell you why. It's just our programming, right? Some of us have a programming where if we don't wait to the last minute, how many of us, and y'all can show me, show me your hands, tap in with me, let me know if you were given 2 weeks to do an order or 2 weeks to do a design or 2 weeks to do a major project, you would spend so much time on that project. It would be ridiculous. If you started from the beginning of when you were given that task, who would spend like way too much time on it? But if you do it at the last moment, you still put a lot of time and energy into it, but you get it done in that hour or two. If you were given much more time than that, it would be a greater done project, but you would have put way more time into it than that job would have been willing to pay for. Is that the case for anybody? That is, anytime I start on a project early, I probably spend 10 times as much time on it. Hold on, y'all. We got some bad stuff going on in the comments. We got some bots going on in the comments over here. I'm trying to get rid of those. Emma, stay over on that screen. You hear me? Keep your eyes on that screen. Okay. All right. Then we just got rid of the bots. Got rid of them bots. Okay.
Nikita said I procrastinate often.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was looking for the comments. I guess they're pulling all the way down. There we go. Now I can see them. Yes. Okay. So for a lot of us, and we'll say, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, as human beings, we need to admit the things that we can grow, the things that we can stretch to improve, the things that do hold us back. And when I was going through a lot of my notes, one of those major things that we talked about was procrastination. So I thought it was perfectly fitting that my mentor was going over this topic, and it made so much sense the way he laid it out. And the mentor that I'm talking about here, one of my mentors is Myron Golden. So I said, you know what, this will be perfect, because when we can frame a problem and we can understand it, now we know how to address it. We know how to tackle it, right? So what we're doing here is we're going to do a little bit of a little sketch project here, okay? And here we go. Hold on just a moment. I'm trying to see if my mouse is going to work here. All right. All right. Now, Emma, you're not going to draw on the screen. You're going to draw on your paper, okay? All right. All right. Here we go. All right. So if I tell you that our procrastination is really based on something else, and that procrastination is based on some type of understanding that we're going to have a negative effect, or we're not going to have the effect that we desire. We could call that fear, but we're going to address that later. It's not really fear. That's why this challenge is called the No Fear Photoshop Challenge. But again, it's not just about Photoshop. It's about growing your business, your marketing, your funding, but really more than anything, it's about the no fear mindset that we're going to need in order to be full-time entrepreneurs and grow this small business to our enterprise and to our legacy, right? So there's some things that we're going to have to shift, some things we're going to have to change in order to be better for ourselves, for our family, and for our communities, okay? So in this level of procrastination, I want us to look at one thing. We're gonna write this word down right here. Oh, maybe we're not, because it's showing up in white. How do I change my color? Boom, color. Well, is it not changing? There we go. Gotta put it on draw, Shannon. Let's write the word fact. And I'm drawing on my screen, so forgive me if it's not all pretty. Write the word fact. Now, a fact is exactly what it is. It's a fact, right? And what we do is we observe these facts in life. Ways that we observe the facts with our eyes. We see the facts or we hear the facts, right? So here, we'll draw a little eyeball with some little lashes, right? So we see or we hear. Draw a little ear. And if you have a little ear like me with a little hangy thing, a little hangy lobe, draw your little hangy lobe. There you go. All right. So we're going to see or we're going to hear that fact, right? So let's give an example of a fact. This fact could be, it is what it is. It is neither negative or positive, But let me ask you this. How do you feel about this? This fact here, let's say I got fired from my job. I got fired from my job. Do you feel like that is a negative or a positive fact? How many of you feel like that fact? How many of you would consider that a negative fact? Put negative. If you would consider it a positive fact, I want you to put positive. It's a fact. I want you to tell me what you would consider that, positive or negative. I'm getting mixed negatives and positives. Tamika says at this time negative. Got you. Okay. Somebody says both. Great. So we have a pretty good mix of negative, positive, some boths, negative at this time. And the reason why I'm guessing you're all saying negative at this time is because I'm pretty sure that's based on, this would be a really bad time not to have that income, right? Okay. And that's completely understandable. What if, so this fact, we're going to put it in a frame, a nice frame. Now with this, if this fact is positive, put a little positive up here, or negative, is all perspective. All perspective. So the fact doesn't change, but our perspective can really determine some things down the line. And we're going to talk about those things down the line that it affects. All right. So this fact can be positive or negative, but that fact is going to really, really affect our brains. And the way that it affects our brains is it affects our belief. Okay. Affects our belief. Let's call this our brain. I'm sure our brains don't look like that, but let's call that our brain. Now, we can have a positive belief or a negative belief. Don't draw on the screen, okay? Did the mouse do that? Or did it? Oh, maybe my finger did that.
I think it might have been the finger.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe somebody else drew on the screen. Hold on, let me.
It's trying to frame you.
Trying to frame you.
That's
All right, that's a fact. Okay.
Fact.
Yeah, because I was saying I know I didn't draw that fat marker there. Okay. So if y'all trying to draw with me, wait for a little bit. Okay. So our belief can be positive or negative. So I want us to get into this idea. If the belief is positive, we're going to call that faith, right? If the belief is negative, we're going to call that doubt, right? So faith is the understanding that that thing is positive, that fact is positive, and belief is or doubt is the belief that that understanding is really negative, right? Do we have a choice in this matter? The fact is we lost the job. The job is gone. It's no longer there. We can't beg it back. We can't wish it back. We can't pray it back. And we may or may not even want it back, right? But we have an option to believe whether that instance was positive or negative, okay? Our belief is going to further go into other functions of how we operate. So this is why it's very important to start in the mindset. We experience something. We experience a fact. Now we have a choice to believe something. We can believe the positive or the negative of that thing. If we believe the negative of that thing, oh God, how am I going to pay my bills? I wasn't ready for this. This is not supposed to happen. This is too soon. If we go into that mind frame, that's going to cause us to spiral into the negative aspect of this, right? If we can look at the other side of that thing, we can focus on the positive of that particular fact or instance. So the positive might be what? Now I have all the time that I need to work on my business full time. I have the time to spend with my children that I didn't necessarily have before when I was working overtime or overnight. So the case may be, I have the opportunity to look for another job because some of us are not ready to or mentally ready to be full-time entrepreneurs. So we want that job. We want that stability. We don't want to lose it. Some of us say, hey, that'll be negative for right now. And maybe it's because you need that source of income at this very moment, or you feel like you need that source of income. Okay, so that's your belief, right? So this belief here is going to structure some further things. So if you can look at any situation, I'll take an even worse situation, which may be a death in the family, right? Death in the family is a fact. That person is no longer physically with us at the moment on this physical realm, in their physical vessel, right? That's a fact. But we have the ability to believe in something positive or negative regarding that fact. So the positive would be, you know what, that person is no longer suffering. That person gets to experience eternal happiness, does not have time limits, does not have to be stuck in traffic, does not have to be haunted with a hospital bill or anything else. Like, we can look at those positive aspects, or now we have that person as a protector, as a spirit over us that has no limitations, has no physical limitations anymore. We can look at the positive of that. That same particular thing, we can flip around and look at the negative of. And we can think about how much we miss that person. And honestly, a lot of those things are even selfish feelings, right? So we can look at the negative, we can look at the positive. It's all a choice, right? That is our belief. And if any particular thing, and Myron says this all the time, have you ever seen a one-sided pancake? If you've seen a one-sided pancake, let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Have you seen a one-sided pancake? A one-sided sheet of paper, right? Even something that's flat has more than one side, a one-sided penny. No. Everything has two sides, right? And what we have to do is, a lot of times, this is why I love kids, because kids can do this intuitively. They're using their imaginations. They're using their lack of understanding of some concepts to really draw the best out of anything. That's why kids are so resilient. We're the ones that hold on to stuff, right? We hold the grudges. We'll never forget. We'll make sure that somebody understands the pain that they caused us. But if we can get in that space to understand that there's a negative and a positive, and we can take our energy and we can focus on the positive, then we have the opportunity to change the rest of the results, okay? So you're focusing on that positive of losing that job. Boom, we're into the, okay, I got my time to myself. Let me do the best with it. Let's figure out what's next, okay? So whatever that belief is directly feeds into what we are feeling. So I'm gonna draw a heart. I want y'all to draw a heart on your paper and draw the word, write the word feeling in there. Okay. Again, we can have a negative feeling. We can have a positive feeling. I'm gonna draw mine to the left, negative or positive. Okay. Now we got this belief. On that negative spectrum of this belief, that negative spectrum of this belief is going to cause something called, and y'all know what I'm going to say in this, anxiety. How many of us at some point in time have either said or felt that we experience some form of anxiety? So give me a me, hand, raise your hand, whatever you like. Let's be completely honest. And the anxiety, that anxiousness, and some of us may even need to define this, because sometimes we hear the word anxiety, we don't know what it means. This anxiousness is really your worry in this present moment about a future, not the right now, right? About a future outcome that you do not desire. Huh? Okay, let's repeat that. So your anxiety is really you worrying in the present about a future outcome that you don't desire. Okay, so let's, on the other hand, what is the opposite feeling? If we have a positive belief, it's going to flow into our hearts into a positive feeling. And that positive feeling, the opposite of anxiety, is, here we are. Got a positive here. Make sure that one's positive. That was, so negative is anxiety. And our positive is anticipation. Ooh, anticipation. All right. That's how I have to spell stuff sometimes. You know, even geniuses misspell. All right. So anticipation. Now let's get this together. Anticipation is still some kind of like, just jittery little butterflies and things just flowing around in your body, just energy just flowing. And it's not necessarily a calm, controlled thing, but anticipation is still that same energy It's just on the light side of the spectrum rather than the dark side of the spectrum. It's the same energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, correct? You said you could barely see the whole board. Can y'all not see the board?
Yes, I zoom in and zoom out in the corner.
Let me see. Oh, you might have to change your view, baby. You might have to change your view because I'm seeing it right now. I think you have to change your view to see it. Yep, you can zoom in and zoom out, babe. And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit just so y'all can see a little bit better. Yep, everybody. I love how y'all all chime in. Yep, scroll down, zoom out. All right, awesome. All right, so we're in there. Okay, and I zoomed out a little bit too so you can see more of the picture. All right, so just with that feeling, here's the difference in how I'm going to describe and use this scenario. We lost our job. Oh my God. We could be like, oh my God, I lost my job. Boom. Number one, can I get that unemployment? That's number one. Because if I can get that unemployment, ooh, that's an investor in my next career, which is all me being 100% entrepreneur. If you can't get an unemployment and you lost a job, it's a little tough, but it depends on how you want to look at that. Okay. So here we go into this. Anticipation is, oh, I'm ready for this. I've been ready for this. I was born ready for this. I got my unemployment. It may not be anything near what my actual salary was, but I get to not go to anybody's job. I get to not have to travel across town. I get to not have to be in the traffic and to wreck my brain and to end up in all of this turmoil. I get to sit and I get to focus. I get to have my time that I've been saying and I've been praying and I've been claiming that I want it, right? Sometimes we say what we want. We didn't say how we wanted to get it. And we're not going to have control over how we get it, right? But here it is. Here we are. And I have this time. So my anticipation is that I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be doing my planning. I'm going to be working out my books as much as I can to make sure that I can make it. I can survive, on these next few months of whatever the minimum is. But the anticipation is that I'm not going to stay at that minimum, because what I'm going to do with this time and with this energy and with the resources that I do have, which is now time and not money. Actually, time is more valuable than money. We're going to talk about that in a second too. Now you have the ability to really grow something, right? So that anticipation is a positive feeling that stems from the positive belief. Okay. Now the anxiety is that thing that got your stomach over there, ooh, like crunched up, and you might even go to the toilet 3, 4, 5, 6 times an hour because you just don't know what to do. Your stomach is just all in knots. It's the same energy. It's the same exact energy, but you're going to either accept that as a positive or a negative, and you're going to turn that into something physically very, very real. Okay. So I want us to understand that all of this has this effect. And I'm going to get to a very important part in just a moment, because that feeling that we have is going to choose whether we are actually motivated to do something. Okay. So when we feel anxiety, my first thing when I feel anxiety, I want to take a nap. Anybody here like to take naps? Like when they get overwhelmed, it's just like, ooh, you know what? There'll be a million things on the list. And the only thing that I'm going to do at that moment is go to sleep. Like that's what I feel when I get overwhelmed in a negative way. Okay. However, if we flip that on the positive side, then I could say it's been times where I thought I was overwhelmed, right? I thought I was overwhelmed. I was like, you know what? I just need to take a mental break. And I'll just literally act like I'm going to go lay down. And then my body and my mind says, you know what? Nope. Guess what? We're going to get this done today. And I'll automatically pop up and start doing the positive work. And that's my anticipation. So I know the difference between the two. My anxiety is going to let my behind sleep. And I'm going to say it'll be a 30-minute nap. And I'm going to be down for at least 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning like, where am I? Okay. But my anticipation is going to be like, yep, I'll go to sleep. I think I'm going to go to sleep. I will lay there for at least, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. I can't lay there for more than 30 minutes. I can't go to sleep. And I'm going to get my behind up. And I'll be like, look, this is what I'm supposed to be working on. My mind just needed maybe a little mental break, but it was not broken. It was not anxiety. It was really anticipation, right? So there's two sides of the same coin. Sometimes we just need to let our mind calm down, because the anticipation is high energy too, right? but it's high energy. We're just directing it the right way. And it's all our imagination. How we are choosing to believe is choosing how we actually feel. And then how we actually feel is playing a major part in how we function, what we do with our hands. So the hand is next. Now, y'all don't pick it. I can draw, but this hand right here is going to be a little janky. Boom. There you go. That's your hand. All right. That's your hand. And in that hand, I want you to put function. Funk tie on. Okay. That's your function. Now that feeling is going to affect the function, what you can do, right? What you do, not what you can do, but what you do, because you can't do anything. All right. So we're going to go positive up here, negative down here again. That positive, that's your power. You're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel that you have power. When you have this positive feeling, that positive feeling, anticipation, is going to lead you to feel like you have power in these hands. Okay. That negative is going to lead you to feel that you're powerless. Okay. You're powerless. Right. You might feel sometimes people say, oh, well, when I feel really, really down, I feel hopeless. When you feel like you can really do something, you feel hopeful. Right. So that's all in the frame of this fact. It's the same fact. It's the same exact fact. No matter who says it, how they say it, what language they say it in, what tone they say it in, it's a fact. Is a fact is a fact. Okay. You're choosing to frame it as either a negative or positive, and that's going to affect your belief, your feeling, and that function. So the power means that you're going to act. You're going to act. Powerless, it's going to be failure to act. Remember the difference I told you? When I have this high anticipation, I can lay down for maximum of 30 minutes. And then I pop up and I'm acting. I have to get on something to really use that energy, to translate that energy, right? To transform that idea out of my head onto paper or into fruition, or just making a model of something. I have to do something with that energy. It turns into an act. But that powerlessness turns into that failure to act. That's me sleeping. That's me calling it a nap and pretty much really calling it a night. Okay. Now, I'm sure we all have something that's going on right now. And I think what I would like to do, I want to map this out for somebody right now. Somebody right now who wants to work out this as a real problem right now. Okay. And I want and not to even face it let's face it as a problem, because I want to show you how a problem is always seen as a negative, right? However, I want to challenge you to understand that a problem is truly an opportunity, right? Anything that ever made money was because it solved a problem. Y'all in with me? Can I get an amen? Anything that truly made money, truly made an impact in people's lives, is because it solved some form of problem, right? So if we can identify the problem, that's not the issue. Identifying the problem is actually a pretty great thing. The problem is when we don't feel like we have the power to change it, when we don't feel like we have the power to do something about it, right? So let's see if we can follow this path. I need somebody to tell me, and put in the chat, tell me a problem. Throw a problem out there. Now we said procrastination was our problem. So now we worked all this out and we said, you know what, let's go through procrastination right now. Fact is procrastination is not the problem. Okay. The fact is you have something to do, right? That fact is, let's say that you were supposed to launch your website. Y'all track this with me right now. You were supposed to launch your website. How many of y'all were supposed to launch your website, didn't launch your website yet? Or you've been like putting it off, even though you're supposed to revamp it and do some things to it? Tell me that. Okay, I'm seeing the me's. I'm seeing them. Okay. Halfway launched. Got you. Yep. Okay, so we're going to take care of that next week, because next week's challenge is we're going to do the darn thing and launch the darn site. Okay. All right. So let's use that as an example. All right. Is it truly why haven't you launched the site? Why haven't you launched the site? Let's go into that. Why do you feel you have not launched the site? No business yet. Okay. So let's say in our mind, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about this yet. I'm putting it off because really and truly, it's not that you don't have business yet. It's that you fear, and you it's not even a fear. Let's break down fear first. You fear, basically you believe. I'm gonna say you believe. I'm not gonna say you fear. You believe that you don't have any clients. You truly believe that if you put that website up, it's not going to change that. You truly believe that if you put the website up, that is not going to change the fact that you have clients or don't have clients. You're just not going to have clients, right? So the fact is, you're really focusing on this website. You don't have it up. You really feel like you're going to have no clients. That's not what you said. But if you believe the positive of that, if you truly believe that I am going to have clients as soon as this website hits, if you truly believe that, would you not be working on your website right now? If that was your true beliefs, because some of us we lie to ourselves sometimes too. Our subconscious does not know the difference between what is fact or not. We frame the fact. We give the fact context. We give the fact the content. Okay. So we're sitting here actively thinking about this, right? If we knew that today, if we set that website up next week during this challenge, I set my website up, boom, I bet I'm gonna have 10 customers by the end of the week. If we really felt like that, we would absolutely do the work. So we have to create the right mind frame to farm these ideas that we have. And I know we all have these ideas. They are God-given gifts and directly implanted into our mind. We have to prepare the soil for that. And the soil for that is really our belief, right? So we start with a positive belief, that faith that, you know what, if you build it, they will come, right? That's a positive belief. If you build it, they will come. It's not saying, you know what, if you build it, it might take 6 to 12 months, but don't be frustrated because it's going to happen eventually. No, if you build it, they will come. That's a common understanding that we have. What is it? The Field of Dreams movie, and probably some other places where that statement is made. If you build it, they will come. That's a positive belief. That's faith, right? The doubt is, dang, if I spend all this money, if I take off from work, if I, put all this energy into it and don't spend time with the kids, like, dang, am I really, I'm risking all of this to possibly have something. You're already on the wrong path, baby. If you're thinking like that, you are absolutely on the wrong path, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. And that is exactly going back to how you frame the fact that exists, okay? You can't set up a website with no product? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Mrs. Jones. You can take one of my templates right now. Put my template up on your website. That's not your product yet, but if they order that shirt, I bet you're going to figure out a way to make it. I bet you can contact one of the Innate Lab partners and have them make the shirt for you. I don't even care if you have no shirts in stock. You have no printer. If you don't even have Photoshop yet, there is a will, there is a way, and that is absolutely true. We're not going to wish. Wish is leaving something up to chance. We're going to will it. Okay. So when we say something, we're going to will it. We have that belief. We have the faith. That faith turns into that feeling. That feeling means that we're going to have a positive experience. We're going to put forth the love and the energy, the proper energy into that, and we're going to act. Therefore, we will. When you will, you're making it happen. It's your choice. It's your actions. It's your feelings, your mindset. Nobody else controls that. And guess what? Is your fault too, right? You're accepting all of that, right? So here we are. We haven't set up our website yet because in our mind, we truly don't believe we got any clients. But I want you to flip that around. If you tell yourself today, hey, as soon as I set up my website, I'm going to get the clients. The clients will meet me there, right? Then you start to have a better feeling about the website. Now you just said, you know what, I'm going to put up just one product. I'm gonna listen to Shanon. I'm gonna see what this little mindset change, what this transformation does, what this little mindset stuff. I just feel like it's little activities. We're just sketching stuff out on paper right now. It really seems silly, but let me try it because I've done everything else, but I haven't done this. I've done the Photoshop files, but I haven't done this. This is internal work. This is the work that you're going to need in order to be the thing, to be the essence of what it is that you need to not only make your business grow, but to implant into your communities, into your children, into everything that it is that you put your hands into, so that it translates as what it is, your true essence. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world, right? You have to be that. It's going to start inside of you, and it's going to resonate far greater than you can ever imagine. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with us. We're going to start with our beliefs. Then we're going to transform the way we feel. Then we're going to transform what we do with these hands. And these hands connected to what the source, what God has placed inside of us, already implanted everything that we could possibly need. Everything that we could possibly need, we already have. You start to uncover that. You start to polish that off. You start to understand that that is your actual power. Then we're dangerous. We are absolutely unstoppable. We are absolutely limitless. That means that everything that we want, everything we can attract is in complete abundance, and we don't have to live in the mindset of lack. So we take this same understanding of ourselves and we translate this, we transform ourselves, and then we start to transform the connections that we make with the customer, because we make the customer feel this way too. Here it is. Let's take this thing. Let's say your product, the product that we're working on right now. Let's take our avatar. Let's shift this right now. Now let's change this from transforming us to transforming our customer's experience, right? This is going to be fun. So we had two avatars we talked about yesterday. One is, let's see. Okay. Yeah. We had one was I think her name was Anastasia, right? If I remember correctly, Anastasia. So Anastasia is our, high-end client. She's willing to pay top dollar. She's willing to give it that time, but she wants that high quality. She wants that energy. She wants to wear this. She wants to display this. If it's a tumbler or it's a name tag that's going on her desk, and she wants to do that with understanding that the product that she gets is going to add to her feeling of opulence, right? She's feeling like she's super fancy. You're the Louis Vuitton of suppliers for whatever it is that you supply, and that's what she feels. She's a premium client, right? Right? You got to appeal to what it is that's stopping her from buying something right now. So how are you going to appeal to her, right? How about this? She feels the fact is she's been seeking a product, right? That product is what you offer. That t-shirt that you're offering right now. We're going to keep it and break it all down to a t-shirt. That product is what you're offering right now. However, in her mind, you're going to have to convince her that you have what it is that she wants. Let's go through this path right now. Let's go through the picture that you're painting for her. You're not just creating a product and throwing it out there to the universe. You are literally, you're a Michelangelo right now. You're Basquiat. You're creating something that is of high value to someone, to your ideal client, right? So when you make this product, her thing is she doesn't believe she's going to get it in time. She's not ordering from Etsy. She's not ordering from Amazon because she feels that, you know what, I'm going to get low quality, right? I'm going to get some vinyl that's peeling off of my shirt. I'm going to get, it's going to not make it on time. I'm not going to have it in time for my girl's trip to Jamaica, right? So I'm going through the things that the negative beliefs that Anastasia has right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to challenge those things, and you're going to offer Anastasia the positive experience to all of those ways that she feels like she's not going to purchase. And you're going to let her know the thing that she's been wanting. Not only do you have the things that she's been wanting, but you have it in a way that makes her want to take action and to use her power, use her hands to take action and purchase your product. Let's see how we can shift this now. So her negative beliefs were that she's not going to get it in time, or it's going to be very poor quality, right? You're going to act on those feelings. So you want her to have anticipation. You want her to be excited about this product. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to appeal to those things? You might put on your listing that, hey, this is made in Florida. It's made in Florida, because a lot of times on your listing, people don't know if this stuff is coming from China, from New York, from California. So you may already be, by just telling you where a product is from. I can't tell you how many more I sold. When I told you I did the 23.7K in 3 weeks, that was because the first thing that I put on my listing, this was years ago. This is before everybody started doing this. One of the things I put on there, I didn't just put the USA flag. I put ships from right here in Florida, right? So I put a little state of Florida on there. It made people feel like I wasn't just some type of big warehouse somewhere. If they were in Florida, they knew I was close by, or I didn't just identify with the USA flag, because a USA flag could still be a China manufacturer that just has a USA warehouse, right? I am settling those fears that my potential client has, right? That's one of the ways we're doing that. The second way I do that is I tell people what sublimation is, because I'm appealing to the high-end client. I don't want the client who wants a $10 vinyl t-shirt. That's not my client. So what I do is I say sublimation is the premium print process. And really and truly it is. Of all print processes, it is the premium print process. The dyes are permanently bonded to the fibers of the shirt, giving you an image that will last a lifetime. That's what I say on my listing. This image will never crack, peel, or fade. That's my spiel, right? So now Anastasia's like, oh, I'm not going to be going to the Bahamas with a shirt that, as soon as I put it on and stretch it out across my chest, the letters are going to fall off, right? They don't feel like, okay, you know how some people mock something up? They mock it up and then it looks totally different made. Well, what I did was I provided a photo instead of just a mock-up. Even though I had my mock-ups there, I further confirmed for that high-end client that no, I'm not just mocking stuff up and going to make you anything. Even if it wasn't the exact product that I was making, I showed them an image of a physical shirt and a video of a physical shirt done with sublimation. I wrinkled the shirt up, I rubbed my hands on it, and I crumpled it up so they could hear it up next to the camera, and showed them that sublimation is the highest quality print process, right? I have to build the experience for that customer, because like I said, her belief is that she's either going to get some crunchy, unattractive, inexpensive looking stuff, and that is not her style. She wants the cream of the crop. She wants the best of the best. So I have to settle her anxiety about the shopping experience, and I have to increase that anticipation she has about getting this, right? So right there, I have done the very, very minimal things that I need to do in order to get her feeling a certain way about my product. And then finally, she feels like, you know what? Here's my opportunity to act. This is the power move. This is where she actually has the opportunity to act, to purchase. But further than that, further than what she does to purchase, because purchasing, yes, it helps her. But I want to help the community. I want to grow my product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her such a great experience that not only does she want my product, but she wants to tell everybody about my product, right? Now, when a customer feels powerless after a transaction, they feel like, you know what, you just failed me. I got some raggedy stuff. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. I feel horrible. I regret ever making this decision to shop with your company. That's not the experience that you want. Especially you don't want that from Anastasia, because Anastasia, when she pays all of this money and she finally felt good about a purchase, the last thing you want to do is let Anastasia down, because Anastasia will give you a good read on that review. Okay. You don't want to let Anastasia down. Okay, so you give Anastasia this great experience, and not only does her actions result in a sale for you, her actions actually result in future sales for you, because she's going to be so empowered to give you a positive review and tell others about you, because she feels connected to that experience. And that's what you're doing for people. You're not selling them a product, you're selling them an experience, right? So that's a whole way that we can go through that on transforming ourselves so that we are better leaders. We're better entrepreneurs. We're better business folks. We're better mothers and aunties and friends, and just dealing with our own partners in business and in regular life. We can take this same model and work on ourselves, but we can use this exact same model to understand, and to take action and to really streamline how we are connecting with our audience and creating those sales experiences. Nobody likes to be sold to, but everyone wants to find what it is that they already want. All you did for Anastasia was put in front of her what she already wanted to buy. You didn't have to convince her. You just had to show her that you were the person that had what she already knew that she wanted before she even came across your product. Anastasia already knew that she wanted some fly shirts for her and her girls on this trip, right? All you did was show her that, hey, it exists exactly like you thought about it before you even saw me. Because what happens then is Anastasia says, oh, this is just an alignment. This is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. How many times have we felt that? And we felt like, you know what? This is a sign to spend this money and to buy this thing because it fit exactly the description that was in our mind. We found that thing, and that thing did not feel like it was sold to us. It didn't feel like it was marketed to us. It didn't feel like somebody pushing a sales down our throat. It felt like something that we stumbled upon, and it felt like we were lucky. We wanted to throw money at that thing because it felt like it was the fit for what it is that we needed. And real, true salespeople, and that's what we have to admit, that we are salespeople. We might be creatives, but we have to sell in order to continue to be creative and continue to fund our creative efforts, right? We have to sell. But selling does not have to be something icky. It doesn't have to be something forced. Selling is really an expression of what it is that we do and showing people that there's value in what it is that we do and that we value their resources enough to give them the match for what it is that they need. And we reframe it like that, we can actually change how we feel about sales. Thereby, we can change how we sell. Thereby, we can change how we can scale our business now because we have an actual mind frame. Now, let's take this to our other avatar. We talked about another avatar that just wants that quick, cheap, that, you know, hey, she don't have to have the best of the best, the cream of the crop. She don't have to have Louis Vuitton. She wants the great value. She wants the great value. And even with that customer, you have to understand that customer. And we're going to go through this same path. Okay. Now we're going to do this one a little quicker because we want to get on to the project for tonight. Okay. So like I said, we're doing a lot of this mindset stuff because this mindset stuff is actually going to be more transformational than you taking the time to learn a 5-minute Photoshop template. I'm just being real. Okay. I give a lot of credit to the Photoshop templates, but the most credit that I'm going to give to you is taking the time to do this work. All right. So I think we had several names for our girl. I think one of the names might have been, was it Trina? Trendy. Okay, so Trendy, Miss Jones. All right, so Trendy says, look, I need this quick, I need it cheap, and I just need you to give me what it is that I need because I got to move on with my day, right? So that particular client, their belief is, number one, they're not going to be able to get it for either they're not going to be able to get it for a great price. The quality is not really the issue for them, or they're not going to get it in time. So guess what? You market that person and you say, hey, I can do these $10 shirts, but you only show them, listen to me, don't show them everything that you do, because that client that wants that $10 shirt is going to look at your $30 shirts and they're going to try to talk you down on that $30 item to $10. You only show them in an ad that says, hey, $10 shirts, right? Your $10 shirts are going to be flat, plastisol prints, and I'm going to teach y'all about plastisol later on in another class. We're going to learn about plastisol and how it can be a $10 shirt easily, right? Designs already ready to go. It's going to be your, more than likely, let's say you're doing a family reunion. How many of y'all did your own family reunions and you're trying to tell them, oh, I can do sublimation, I can put photos, I can make this elaborate, gorgeous design. And they're like, yeah, can you do that for $8? So now we have to make sure that we're addressing this customer. So yes, I used to have a flyer that I would do that would say, and I would make it feel like it was just catered to them. So my churches, my small businesses, and churches, small business, and family reunions, I would do a special, and I would call them $8 shirts. And oh my gosh, they ate that ad up because it really specifically targeted them. Because they knew I made $30, $25 and $30 sublimation shirts all day long. I'm talking about 13 by 19s. I wasn't even doing all overs back then, right? So they knew me for my high price shirts. But I had another option for that customer. Trendy was still my customer. right? So I had my ideal avatar, but I also had, I had something for my other avatars as well. So Trendy could come in and say, oh, I saw that you do $8 shirts. What can I get for $8? Well, the minimum is 36 shirts. We can have it done in as little as, 3 to 5 days. If you want to rush order, if you give me 2 weeks, I can do them for $8 flat. Well, wait a minute. How does that happen? You design it flat, one color. You send it off to a printer that will screen print, not on the shirts, but screen prints on these transfers. Because guess what? Trendy gonna have some messed up orders. Trendy's gonna give you 30, order for 30 shirts. Then she's gonna come back to you and say, hey, after you gave me those 30 shirts, 20 more people wanted some. So what you can do, you can have those shirts, those prints printed up as plastisol transfers. That's just where they screen print onto transfer paper and they reverse image it instead of screen printing onto the shirt. You keep those prints on hand because you already know your customer. You know Trendy. And I'm telling you, I've done this, been through this scenario a million times in real life. I had those prints ready. Guess what? Trendy was one of my best customers because as soon as I made those 30 shirts, she went out, she hustled them 30 shirts. I sold them for $8. Trendy sold those shirts for $15. Okay. Trendy's going to figure out a way to flip that dollar. So Trendy came back and said, you know what? I sold those shirts so quick. How quick can you give me 20 more shirts? I got the money in hand right now. They already paid me for them. Oh, really, Trendy? It's a great thing that you ask. I have the ability to do 20 shirts by tomorrow. All I would do is order those shirts. They would be shipped to me next day. And I didn't even pay next day shipping. I found suppliers that would have 1 day ground shipping to me. Trendy was so excited to have those inexpensive shirts in her hand the next day. She sold another 50 shirts. And it's because I created that feeling of anxiety that she had when she was collecting these people's money. Because that's the thing, Trendy collecting other people's money. She's overcharging for these shirts. So she already feeling like, okay, what if it don't come through? My name, my face is on this. You made Trendy feel so good with that first order when she was able to give out those 30 shirts that she came back to you ready. She was anticipating that you would be able to fulfill another order for her in that same manner, right? So now you took that same customer that you were shaking your head at. Oh man, here come Trendy. She want a cheap shirt. No, Trendy went out there and did you a favor. Trendy went out there and sold shirts you didn't have to sell. Trendy ended up selling 100 shirts that you would have never had your hands on had you not known how Trendy works and how to market to Trendy and how to really answer what it was that Trendy already knew that she needed. She didn't know anything about plastisol transfers. She didn't know anything about the fact that you could print the same thing over and over again and actually do it for a really cheap price. In her head, all she understood was she needed a cheap shirt for her football team, right? And from there, not only does Trendy act as far as buying something for you, but now Trendy has acted in the form of helping you market. She's gone out there and sold, instead of 30 shirts, she sold 70 more shirts. You turn that into this function that works for you as a force for you. And it's all because of the experience that you created through sales that weren't icky, but that were really targeted towards your avatar, right? So I just gave y'all two major plays, how to get this high-end client, how to market to them, what it is that they're thinking, what's holding them back, with the negative beliefs that they have, how you can combat those negative beliefs so that you can create a positive feeling and also a positive marketing and sales experience for them. So I want everybody now tonight, when we get done, we're about to do our physical task for tonight, which, great coming off of this high of just, scribbling all over paper. But now we're going to do some actual computer work. But before we do that, I want to take a pause and I want to ask anyone, do you have any questions? Do you have maybe some concern about your avatar, something that you want to share as far as what you're doing right now in this phase so that we don't lose anybody? If you're good, put a 100. If you have a question or maybe you just need a little bit of help, I want you to put a 2. Put a 2. So 100, we're good. We're ready to move on. Give me a 2 if you either need some help or you just have some input that you want to contribute right now. Y'all ready. Okay, y'all are ready. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now, let me ask you this. If this activity, if this breakdown it or understanding was helpful to you, I want you to drop a flame in the chat. If this was helpful to you, if this really helped to shed some light, help you to understand yourself better, helped you to understand your client better, help you to understand sales better, make you feel a little bit less icky about selling to people, made it feel a little less intimidating to sell to others, give me fire, some flame somewhere in the chat so I can see it, I can visualize it. I know that we got our energy together and this was worth it. Okay, all right, okay. Awesome. The chat is on fire. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and do a little prep work right now for our file tomorrow. So now we're in tune. We in the proper headspace to market to our clients. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to the folder where you saved. Well, some of you didn't get a chance to save your image. So I'm going to give you a chance right now. We're actually, Emma, can you do me a favor? We're going to get off the whiteboard. I'm going to stop my whiteboard. How do I stop it? Yes, go ahead and share your screen, please. I think I have to give you the ability to do that. Okay. And I think it should allow you all to download this whiteboard. If it doesn't, I'll include the whiteboard in the okay, there it is. Okay, we see your screen.
Oh.
Okay.
You see it?
Yes.
Just make sure everybody can see it.
Okay, so can everyone right now see Emma's screen? It has dinosaurs on it right now.
Raptors
to be exact.
Sorry, they're my favorite dinosaurs. I don't like when somebody misinterprets them.
Interprets. Yep. Okay. All right. So for those of you who have not pulled your source image, we're just going to do this one image. Okay. So you have the option to do one main image, and then let's say you have a logo or some other accent image. You can have two images for this challenge.
Oh,
but Emma, we're just going to do one right now, because we're already behind, because we did this yesterday. So just for those ones that gave me zeros earlier, I want to make sure that we get at least this part down. Okay. Now, anyone that has never done an Innate Academy course, and you've never done like Zoom on one screen, Photoshop on the other screen, I want you to stay behind in class. Because I would love for Erica to be able to help you and make sure that you're going to be able to do a screen share and run your Photoshop. Okay. That's it. It's just real simple. Okay. And then there's some videos that I want you to go through in the module that shows you, and we'll do that. You know what? We'll do that together. We'll do the workspace setup together tomorrow. Okay. Because I know there's a lot of beginners in here tonight, and I don't want to leave anything to chance. All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and get started. So Emma, I'm going to draw on your screen.
I just circled the little down.
Okay, so which one, can you hover over which image you want?
I've already gotten it, but I'm just
okay. Well, we're going to redo it all together because some people haven't gotten theirs. Okay, so we just did a Google search. So as a matter of fact, if you have not done this yet, just make sure that you go to Google and you type in whatever you want your theme to be. In this case, it's a raptor, right?
Yes.
It's a cartoon raptor. But in your case, it might be a local football player. It might be a Daytona car race. It might be, I'm trying to think of some themes you can do. You could do anything that you can imagine, but that theme is supposed to be targeted towards your avatar, towards your ideal customer. What does she want? What does he want? And you're going to market that not only in the sense of the image, but in the way that you sell this. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Are you, let's see. Okay, so what you're gonna do, it won't let you right click.
It won't let me right or left.
Oh, you know what? I think you are on the Zoom screen. Hold on. Let me help you.
Okay. I can only scroll up and down.
Okay. So that means that your Zoom screen is over here, and then your actual, let's see. Zoom there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So this is the screen that you're sharing with everyone.
Yes.
I got you.
And it won't let me click.
You're absolutely correct. Don't know why that is happening. Maybe we have to refresh.
And it's this. The
Okay, so
shows
now
here.
it's working. All right, let's see.
Okay.
Is it letting you? Yep. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so now I don't want you to click on anything. I just want you to listen first, okay?
Okay.
All right. So once you do a Google image search, we're going to keep this clean and simple. Now, if you already have a photo, let's say you have a graduation photo, something that you want to use and you already have this image, then this part of the process is not for you. This is for, you don't know what you want to do. We're going to do a little research and figure that out. So Emma's ideal client in Avatar is obviously one who likes kawaii style dinosaurs. Am I right?
Chubby is the street name.
Chubi, is it Chibi or Chubi? Chibi.
It can be pronounced either way.
Okay, excuse me. All right, so we're gonna go with the dinosaur. So can you hover over which one?
Technically, it's not one of these, but
Okay, just
scroll down.
okay.
I'm gonna click this one, then this one. This
Okay.
is the one I downloaded.
Okay, so then we're gonna right click on this image. Right. Just I'm telling you where to right click on the image, go to open the image in new tab. Oh, down here where I circle, open image in new tab, open image in new tab. Do you see that?
Oh, that one.
Okay, now you go to the tab, and this is how we're going to check to see whether it's high enough resolution. It is 2000 by 1400 pixels. Perfect. Now let's right click on the image. And we're going to go to save image as. All right, and just save it in your, well, let's make a folder. Let's right click. Nope, wait a minute, Emma, you're not listening right now. Come on, right click where I put the X.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right there, okay.
And then let's go to new. And then we're going to go folder. Okay, you're going to name that folder 627 space challenge. CHALLENG. GE. GE. I forgot the E. All right. So now hit enter. Okay. And then I want you to open up that, open up the folder. There you go. Now you got to, yeah, there you go. Okay. Now you can just name this file Dino or whatever it is. It's fine. Raptor. You've got your T. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and save. I'm going to clear my marks off your screen. Now that that folder, now that that file is saved, everyone should have some image that is saved. If you were here for the challenge yesterday, or even if you did your homework from yesterday, you already have your image saved. So together, we're going to go to a website. We're going to click on a new tab here. Let's go to a fresh new tab. Okay. Can you see it though? You
it's
can
harder
see
than it looks, but I did it.
Okay, very good. Let's go to remove.bg. Okay, remove is spelled R-E. Okay, well, I'm spelling it for everyone else as well. Remove.bg. Okay, and hit enter. Now, if you don't have a remove BG account, that's perfectly fine. Wait, Emma, don't click on anything, hit cancel. Stop moving ahead because we're demonstrating for people. I know you know how to do this, but you got to slow down, okay? All right.
I'm too smart.
You have to also know when it's time, when you're teaching others, we got to slow it down just a little bit, okay? All right, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to upload an image, but I need you to know if you have a login, you can log in, but if you don't have a login, we're going to do the free version of this, okay? No need to pay for it. So let's go ahead and go to upload image. Let's click right here on upload image and you're going to go to your downloads folder, and then you're going to, right here, baby. Then you go to your 627 challenge and go ahead and put your Raptor in there. Go to open. Emma, you're moving a little too fast, okay?
Sorry.
Okay, now if you have a paid account, you can download the HD version and use up a credit, but we're going to pretend like we have the free account. So we're going to download this one up top. This one is going to hold on, Emma. Nope, stop. Just hit exit. We're going to stay on task. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and download the free version, okay? Now, for instance, if there's something that needs to be cleaned up in here, we will clean it up. In Photoshop is going to be a better place to clean it up because the tools here are a little elementary. However, I just want you, however it shows up right now, I want you to just go to download where it says preview image. It's going to be free. And it's going to put the word remove BG preview at the end. That's fine. Go ahead and hit save. All right. And if you notice where this checkerboard is, the background has been removed. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen share. And I'm going to check on everyone now. If you have your image cut out, I want you to give me a 1. And if you need some help right now, I want you to give me a 2. Okay. If you need some help right now, give me a 2, because I need to make sure that everybody has this together before we start the Photoshop file tomorrow.
Seems like everybody's catching on.
Everyone's catching on. I see you. I see you.
I mean, it is the easiest part.
All right. So no one needs any help. Ooh, this might be a first. Now, if you need help, don't feel like you're spoiling the party. If you need help, reach out. Give me a 2 right now. I will absolutely make sure that you are on board with us. There's no creative left behind.
It stopped.
All right, so we're all one. So listen, y'all. Well, we went over about 20 minutes yesterday, but this time we are actually done early. So this is what I want for you all to do. I will have the Photoshop file, because I didn't put the Photoshop file up earlier, because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Nobody's moving ahead. Nobody's getting a little, too anxious or has such high anticipation that they're messing with their Photoshop file. Okay. So the Photoshop file will be available tomorrow. Normally I just have it available 1 hour before class, because anyone who can't download it in an hour before class, we usually we just know that your computer's probably going to be struggling through the Photoshop process. However, we will have the file up probably more about like 3 to 4 hours ahead of time, so that if you try to download it and it's taking too long, we have a little time to help you out before class. But if there's anyone right now who's never used Photoshop, okay, or if you have never actually taken any of the Innate Academy Photoshop courses, if you will hang out tonight, and we're going to make sure that your Photoshop's working, that your Zoom is working, so that you are ready for tomorrow. Okay. Now, anyone who's watching on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, if you all still want to join the challenge, because I'm telling you, by the time Thursday and Friday come, I have something very, very much phenomenal in store for our participants. You want to be in the challenge, not just for the prize, not just for the stuff that you're going to get, not just for the savings that you're going to have, because one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that the people in this challenge get something major. They have something to brag about, right? I'm going to make sure that in the challenge, y'all have something to brag about. But I also want to make sure that you're giving yourself your best. All right. And that's what this challenge is all about. So if you join tonight, then I am going to, some of y'all missed the $100 off. Okay. And I'm only going to do this for the next 30 minutes. Okay. I'm giving y'all a chance. Don't say I didn't give you a chance. Okay. I'm going to take the challenge down. Whew. Just before Erica jumps on, boom, 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 boom. Let me do it real quick. All right. So let me make this an opportunity for y'all, because we're going to get on this thing, and we're going to be making sure that our new folks don't have any fear, no anxiety. And we're going to talk about fear for a second too. Fear is a reaction that we have to a real and present danger, right? That's what fear is. Most of the time when we say we fear, rejection, we fear that we're not going to have enough money or make sales or be able to pay our bills. That's not the fear that's going on there. What that is, that's our anxiety. Oh, we just talked about that today, right? So I want us to clearly define the difference between the two of those things. And once we understand that fear is something real and everything else is our imagination, because we can imagine it to be a positive a positive experience, or we can imagine it to be a negative experience. Either way, do what serves you. Does it serve you to be negative? Y'all tell me in the chat here. Does it serve you to feel like nobody wants to pay you? Nobody wants to buy your stuff. Nobody's going to go on your website. Nobody's going to buy your stuff. You're going to be broke. You're going to risk it all. And you're going to have to sell your house and all the blank t-shirts and all the equipment you bought just to basically get back to square zero. Does that serve you? If it does, please let me know how. Okay. So first, let's get rid of the limiting beliefs. Okay. Let's get rid of these limiting beliefs. And let's shift it to a positive outlook at the very, very least. Let's look at the positive side of every negative thing that pops up in our head. Boom. If we immediately transform that to a positive, it sounds and it feels fake at first. I'm not going to lie. It sounds and it feels real fake at first. And then somebody will tell you, well, you need to be realistic. Well, my reality is only as real as I can imagine it, as I can form my thoughts around that being a positive or a negative experience, a positive or negative belief. So here we are. I want y'all to work on that. Okay. All right. So for those tonight, if y'all want to stick around just to see, to make sure that you're ready for Photoshop, you're absolutely welcome to. If you already have your Photoshop downloaded, you're one of my OGs. You already know how to do the split screen with the Zoom versus the Photoshop. Cool. Then I will see y'all tomorrow. Unless you have a question for me, this is your open forum right now. You got about 5 minutes. You can ask me questions before we get on to formatting everybody's screen, okay? Or setup. That's it, done. And for those of you who are interested in joining the challenge for the next 30 minutes only, the challenge is down $100. It is now $197. Get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot.
Cora has a question.
All right, Coach Corey, go ahead. And if you need to share your screen, turn your camera on, turn your mic on, whatever it is, you have the floor. It's very nice. Okay, so what's the question, love? Go ahead and unmute your mic. Oh, Coach Corey, I can't hear you. Let me see if my mic is on. Hold on.
Your mic is on.
Well, not my mic. I meant my speaker.
Oh.
You're welcome, Kendra. I will see you tomorrow, babe. Have a good night. Enjoy
it goes up on another screen. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay. I see it now. I see it and I hear you.
Okay, my issue that I've been having like with my Photoshop is like, hold on, let me snap over here. So when it want to work today.
Oh, in front of company, Photoshop like to show out.
Oh, it's acting good in front of company because like all this was like here. Was not here. Like only this thing is like export PNG and like if I want, because what I was doing, I was trying to do a clipping mask and then like didn't give me like none of those options, and now they want to act like new. Okay, well then you try to get the problem to happen when you need help, and you got the help in front of you. Then as soon as you log off, you know what? Nope. I got to change that. The positive is working in your favor. All you got to do when it does something like that, the most that you want to do is first of all make sure that you go File, Save As. Make sure it's not saved in your temp file. Go to File, Save As, because sometimes what happens here is and especially in the new Windows, the Windows 11, it'll let us open zip files. It'll let us do some manipulation, and it'll be in this invisible file somewhere called a temp folder. And that temp folder, when you make these changes, it will completely disappear. Okay, it will go into oblivion. Right. So you want to make sure that you're saving this. And yeah, I will go ahead and do File, Save As. Name it as something that you know that you want. And if you see that it's already, when you see that file, that address up at the top, and it starts with the word temp, then you already know you in hot water. You better get out of there. The floor is level. You got to get out. Okay. What are you talking about with temp? Because this
is not a temp, so you're good, Corey. You're good. So just go ahead and make sure that you save this as a short file name, and then go ahead and do whatever edits you need to do to prepare this for class tomorrow.
Oh, this is not for class. This just was for client.
Okay. All right. Well, let's check, see if anyone else needs anything for class for tomorrow, because we want to use this time real wisely. We got a lot of people on here, Coach Corey, but I got you. I got you.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Go do your thing, baby.
All right, love. So let's see. Anyone else need any help before we move on to just making sure your Photoshop is set up? Dual screen setup, Teresa. Okay, well, stick around because we're going to make sure that your dual screens are set up correctly. Now, I'm going to do the first part of this, and if anyone, and this will be recorded into this part of the challenge too. So if you need to rewatch this, it's going to be saved on the video. Okay. So we'll go over this process. Now, we're not going to spend much more than like the next 20 minutes doing this. So I'll do it for a couple of repetitions, but this is how you're going to learn how these classes go. As someone else is working through the problem, you're going to be watching it. I hope you have two screens. If you don't have two screens, then what you want to do is you want to have a second device. That second device, well, let's start with the two screens, right? And I put a video up in the challenge for you to watch to talk about the two screens or the second device. So two screens means that you have your computer screen, which might be a laptop, right? It might be a desktop. And then you have a secondary screen, which may be a TV monitor, or it might be an external monitor. It may even be, some of you can use your iPads with your Mac computers, and it acts as like a side screen. So that's what I mean by second monitor. Now, some of you don't have the option to do a second monitor, but what I at least need you to do is have a second device, and it has to be logged into Zoom separately, okay? That second device could be a tablet. That second device could be a whole nother computer, so you can be working on your desktop and then have a laptop beside you. That's fine too. But each device is gonna have to be logged into Zoom separately for tomorrow, okay? So you may have one iPad that's on Zoom because you don't have a second screen. And then you will have Zoom also installed, not the web version, but download and install the actual Zoom platform, the Zoom program to your computer. That's the only way you're going to be able to share your screen, and I will be able to draw on your screen, tell you where to click, and help correct you. I could even take over your mouse if need be. It's very, very rare that I have to do that, but if need be, I can do that. But I need you to have your setups right in order to be able to help you the best that I can help you tomorrow, okay? All right, so anyone have any questions in understanding, number one, about the dual screens, or number two, about having two different devices if you do not have dual screens? If you have a question right now, just go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. No, Libra, if you can't participate, and I'm glad you asked that. If you cannot participate in the challenge, then what you can do, like let's say you're going to miss Thursday and Friday because you have some major event going on. That's perfectly fine. The recordings are going to stay up for 72 hours all the way past the challenge. So after the 5-day challenge, it's going to stay up for 72 hours. After that, it disappears. The reason why I'm doing that is because we're creating a sense of urgency, and we're creating that we're getting rid of the ability to even procrastinate, and we're on do it now time. Okay. Do it now means that you pretty much got 24 hours to make sure that whatever we did on this session, you catch up to that so that you can do the next day's event. I don't want anybody having an excuse to say, I have another template that I added to my collection, and like you collect them all like Pokemon. Okay. That's not the objective here. The objective for this challenge is to make sure that we're executing and we're taking imperfect action, and we're just getting it done. Once we get it done, we get out of our own head, we get out of our own way, we put the pedal to the metal, and even if it's not perfect, it is done. And we get used to the idea of us getting something done without it having to be perfect, right? And hopefully you get to see what it is that you can produce even when you're not at your optimal, even when you're not perfect. You can still produce positive results. And that's what I want you to trust yourself during this process. So I'm not going to leave this stuff up. Like, I think last time I was supposed to have it up for like 24 hours after each class, and I left it up there for almost a whole, 2 weeks for y'all. I can't do that because I'm going against what I'm telling you, the whole point of this process, the whole point of this whole experience, right? But to answer your question, Libra, you will have it for 72 hours after that Friday, after we end on Friday, okay? Yes, there is a Sezzle option. Very good question. There's a Sezzle option if you go to the Innate Lab website and you type in the word Sezzle. So innatelab.com, if you go to that and you type in the word Sezzle, you'll see there's a Sezzle option for the challenge. And all you have to do is reply to the confirmation and say, hey, please enroll me in the challenge. That's the only way I can get a Sezzle option because the Academy website does not accept payment plans, okay? But if you need a payment plan for that Sezzle option, then let's do that, okay? All right. Ooh, any other questions about the dual screens? Because we're getting ready to set that up, and then I can show you better than I can tell you how the dual screens work, okay? So anyone in the chat, if you have dual screens, then oh, wait a minute. I think I see Nikita.
Are you saying?
I do see some questions. Okay. I see two that might have the screen questions. Okay, so Teresa, let's go ahead and start with you. Go ahead and share your screen for me. Now, what's going to happen when you share your screen on your computer, your Zoom is going to disappear. Okay, when your Zoom disappears, the reason why it disappeared is because everyone is now seeing what is on your screen. I want to make sure that your Zoom is on your second screen. So for everyone, your Zoom, you have to push Zoom over onto your second screen. You have to drag it over to your second screen so that when you share your screen, Photoshop will be on your primary screen. It'll be on your screen one, and that's what you will be sharing. Okay, so Teresa, I see you, love. Can you unmute your mic for me?
Sorry, I had to find it.
All right, good deal. How you doing tonight?
A little nervous, but excited.
Yes, well, I'll take the excited part. You got this. Because I promise you, there's no creative left behind. As long as Photoshop will allow you to produce, we're gonna produce some magic, okay? As long as Photoshop is running on your computer, then you got this, okay? And obviously, I see it running. That's great. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're actually going to set up our artboard and we're going to do our artwork tomorrow, okay? We're going to not set up our artboard. We're going to set up our workspace, okay? So anyone that feels like, oh, my tools aren't in the right place, or, you know, this looks funny, it looks different than how I see on your tutorial videos or your YouTube videos, then I will make sure that we get that together, okay? So please don't fear that. Got it? All right. So that's how you're looking at. This is your screen one, Teresa. Do you have a second screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So on your second screen, do you see anything on your second screen right now?
I have the Zoom video.
Okay, then you got it set up perfect. So whenever you're sharing your screen with me, I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn on my marker. I could say, hey, right click on this right here, or I could say, go grab this tool over here. You see me drawing on your screen?
Yes.
So that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So you have it set up perfect. I'm going to go ahead and clear my drawings off your screen, and I'm going to stop the screen share. Perfect. Right now, when I stop the screen share, did your Zoom window pop back up with all of our pictures on it?
It did.
Perfect. Good deal. All right. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask anyone. That's such a great testimonial yesterday. I want to see, did anyone want to share any wins? Anybody want to share any positivity before we end this call tonight? Anyone want to share any wins, any positivity, anything that you would like to bless our ears and our understanding with, so that we can all, number one, celebrate you, but number two, like I said, when we celebrate somebody else's wins, we are celebrating as if they're our own, and we can take those and really envision those as our successes as well. Yay. Emma says, I got work done. Yay. It was a little frustrating yesterday. Woo, Linda says, sorry for being late. You just did $5,000 order. Woo! Woo! All right, Linda.
I find that a good reason to be late.
If ever there was a reason to be late, let it be for $5,000
Or more.
or more.
Any less is unacceptable.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, we're clapping it up. Here your flowers. Yes, Linda, here your flowers. We're throwing you roses, roses,
Why
roses.
did Linda say sorry? There's nothing to be sorry about.
Yes.
You just got $5,000 in your bank account.
Okay, calm down. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Okay, Sharon, you finally met with a graphic designer to get your logo refreshed. Yes. Oh, okay. Let me. Can I share something with you all? Can I share something? I want to share. I'm going to share my screen. That is so familiar, and I'm gonna tell you why I know it's so familiar. I tell y'all that there's certain things that I don't do anymore. And one of those things I haven't done in a very long time is created logos. Another thing that I haven't done in a very long time is work for my own business. How many of us have been in that boat? We basically will take the time to work on everybody else's everything else, and we kind of neglect our own brand. If that's you, say me. Just go ahead and say it. Go and say it. It's all right though. So one thing that I've been doing, this has been having me really have this, like, it went from, so the anxiety was that I know all the things that I need to do and I'm not doing it. I was feeling like I was letting myself down. I was feeling like I just wasn't doing things that I know need to be done. Come on, Shannon, you know you need to do this. I was beating myself up, right? So when I started doing the mind shift stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm going to really turn this into a positive. I know what I need to do. I know exactly what to execute. There are people in this world that don't know what to do yet. So why don't I turn that into a positive experience rather than me beating myself up and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm doing checklists now, right? One of the things that was on my checklist was to redo my logo. All right. So the Innate Lab logo. Can y'all see my screen right now? Let me know if you can see the screen, say yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So it really wasn't even that bad. I loved the experience of doing it. I actually hand sketched, like I haven't done logos like that in forever. It's so time consuming. And it's usually like one of those things that you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know if you're going to get it done today, a month from now. Like, so you put these time frames on it, and literally it was done within 24 hours. From sketching to conception to actual finished product, right? So celebrate those wins, Sharon. Celebrate that, because I'm telling you, those things that you put on that list, like yesterday, we put 5 things on the list. And if you did your activity today, you put 5 more things on that list. It doesn't have to be the same 5 things every day, right? So those 5 things you put on the list, one of those things on my list was, it seemed so insignificant. No, it didn't seem insignificant. It seemed so daunting. It seemed like it was so hard for me to actually get to this point of position. But when I did it and I was able to check that off, it made me feel like so more committed to what it was that I was doing, so more proud of what it was I was doing. I was like, and it was really easy. It was not hard. It was easy because I had this anticipation for seeing it done. I already knew what I wanted to do with it. I knew that it was going to help me reframe and take this to the next level, right? So I feel you on that. We're going to celebrate those wins too. And if that's something that y'all are interested in doing, learning how to create logos, I know I said I probably, well, this is a very unique type of course. It's a unique type of understanding of graphics and a unique type of understanding of what you want to do with branding. But if y'all are really, really interested in that, it will be a pretty long course, but we can get into doing that. Okay. Yep. And then here's the thing, you're going to question yourself whether you want to create logos for other people. If I were to create logos for other people, I will start at $300. Start at $300. Either that, or you go to Fiverr and you're going to get some kind of clip art variation of something that you create. This was not clip art. This was hand drawn and a original piece of work. Okay. So for me, I would charge anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 to create a custom logo where I'm hand sketching it, building it out, and making sure that it is a unique logo. Okay. Thank you, Emma. All right, so just letting y'all know that was one of my wins too. So Sharon, I feel you, and I'm super excited, and it put me on the right momentum, and I was already in the right trajectory, but now it just gave me that momentum. And success loves speed. So when you do it and you get it done fast, and you get it done well. And there's a such thing as getting it done right and fast. Okay. If you get it, you're getting it done fast because you've built up the right energy and the momentum to stay on the path. Okay. You focus. When you focus, you can get it done fast. And I learned that I put this off for over 10 years, y'all. I haven't made a logo. All right. So let's see. Anyone else have a win that they want to share in the chat? You could tell me your win. And if it's something that you wanted to turn your camera on or your mic on and tell us about, I would love that. Katina, that is a great question. What do I feel about logos with pictures as cartoon, like the cartoon pictures? I say those are excellent for building brand recognition, right? Like, because you are the brand in that instance. Your imagery, your likeness is the brand, right? But I will say that you want something that breaks down to a 1-2 color logo. I can break this, and this is actually broken down into flat colors too. So this is broken down into a 1 color flat image where I can just make this plain black and the background is transparent. I can break this down into 1 color. And then I also have a 2 color version of it, right? Because when you're talking about logos, you need something that is easily replicated in a screen print or a flat print format. Think about if you had to cut this out of vinyl, right? If you had to cut it out of vinyl and you didn't have a chance to print the colors, you have to be able to produce this in a efficient, effective, and economical way as well, right? So if I were printing these up on ink pens and they are engraving them, you have to think, how would this image translate to one of those simpler print processes? Then I have I'm always going to come with the extra. So it's 3D, it's, got shading in it. It's got, my colors, I love my CMYK. So it's got my colors, my pop of colors. And those things are great for my presentation. That's a part of my branding. That's a part of my visualization. But I also know that I have to keep a simplified version of this so that I can do the simplified print processes like screen printing. Okay. Great question. Great question. All right, so next I'm going to check on somebody else's screen. Let's see. And let me know if you already did. Well, how about this? If you still have questions about dual screen or setting up 2 different devices, go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat right now.
If not, a 2.
Nope, just a 1. Yeah. That way, that's all I need to know.
We got a couple ones.
Okay, because if you got it, I know you got it by now. Okay. Okay, so Tamika, go ahead. I'm going to stop my screen share. I want you to go ahead and share your screen with me, please. And there you go. You see it. Perfect. Okay, so what you're sharing with me right now, are you able to open up Photoshop for me? And I didn't tell y'all that, but you don't have to open a file or anything, but everyone who we're doing the screen share test with right now, go ahead and open up Photoshop so that I know Photoshop is going to be on your screen 1, and then your Zoom is going to be on your screen 2 or your second device. And Tamika, can you unmute your mic for me so I can hear you? See if you're having any issues there.
Okay, it's trying to pull up, it's spinning.
Okay. Now, is it loading up? When you shared your screen, do you have two screens hooked up right now?
I do. It just pulled up.
Okay, great. So I'm thinking that I might be looking at your second screen. If
you are.
Okay, do me a favor, and I'm going to stop the screen share. And then when I ask you to share a screen, I want everyone to always make sure your Photoshop is on screen 1. So then when you share your screen with me, it's going to ask you which screen do you want to share, 1 or 2. Go ahead and share screen 1 with me.
Share screen 1. Okay.
And what I'm going to ask y'all to do tomorrow is make sure that Photoshop in your file is already pulled up, before you even enter the Zoom session, because it won't be competing with resources. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. So what you should be seeing, Tamika, you should see your Photoshop on screen 1. And then when we have the Zoom session going on, you're going to drag that Zoom session onto your screen number 2. So you can watch it on Zoom while you simultaneously do your work. And you will never go back to one screen again. If you ever were a one screen person before, you start working with 2 screens, it's going to drive you crazy when you have to work on one, because now you're going to be able to reference on one screen, like, have your browser window, you look up your design ideas, your inspiration on one window, and then you can work on your main screen. Okay. All right. All right. So you got it, love. And the other thing is, when it's your turn, when I say, hey, Tamika, go ahead and share your screen, that's your turn to have the complete floor. That means you can turn your mic on, and I'm going to help you through whatever it is that you need to demonstrate on your screen. I can even draw on the screen or take over the mouse if I absolutely have to. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So Nikita, you are next, my love. Go ahead and share your screen. And then Andrea, I got you next, love.
So my question really was, is there a way to connect an iMac and a MacBook Air together to have dual screens?
Now, y'all know I'm a PC queen, right? I just got me an iPhone like 2 years ago, and I'm still like, having my Droid withdrawals. So I don't know about the Mac systems and setup and if they're able to communicate in that way, but I know at the very least, you can have Zoom on each computer, right? And just make sure that you log on, like, let's say you have 2 emails, log into Zoom on one email on one computer, and then I'm allowing you to take up a second seat and use the second seat on that next computer. So you'll be in Zoom 2 times. Just make sure that you turn off the mic and the speakers for that second computer. And then that way you can watch Zoom on one screen and you can perform Zoom on the other. And whenever I ask you to share your screen, you're just going to share your screen from the one that has the Photoshop on it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you find some other solution to that, let us know, because I'm sure there are other like Mac users out there that may be interested in that solution. I just don't have that solution.
Okay.
But
I know I can screen it from my laptop to my TV.
Well, then you could do that. Now, as long as you can see your TV, like, because I've done that before. I've taken my HDMI cable, baby, and this big old 55-inch TV will be my second screen if I need it to be. So I take it and I plug it directly into my laptop and it reads as a second screen. So if any of you have to do that, you can do that as well. And it might actually help you because depending on how far you're sitting away from it, it might help you to like see the scope of what you're doing, like what you're watching on Zoom. And then everything that you're doing up close is on your Photoshop, which is on the computer screen that's right in front of your face. Okay. And Felicia says, I have a MacBook and an iPad, logging into both separately. Okay, great, Felicia. So that's maybe a little understanding there. And Felicia's done the courses before. Another Apple question: how do you unlock again to share screen if you needed to share screen? Katina, that's a great question. When you ask, for instance, go ahead right now, Katina, and try this. Tell Zoom that you want to share your screen. Now, I don't use Macs, but I think I can kind of visualize this because I think I've seen it before. There's going to be a window that pops up like an extra security setting, because y'all know y'all Mac users, y'all got some lockdown, some secure stuff going on, which is not a bad thing. It's a great thing, as a matter of fact. But what's going to happen is it's going to have like a little security, like a little padlock down there. You're going to have to unlock the padlock. It looks like a little master lock, right? You're going to have to unlock it, tell it that Zoom has the permission to share your screen, and then you got to lock it back. And once you lock it back, I think there's going to be one more button you have to hit to share the screen. And at that point in time, you will have the permissions in order for us to see your screen. Okay. So if you want to try that right now, not if you want to try it, let's try that right now. Let's make sure that we got it together. Okay.
Okay. So something else popped up. Like on my second screen, it shows the number 1 and 2, and then another box popped up. So it must be unlocked. So I'm gonna press share.
Wait. Okay. So did you share screen number 1? Ooh, gorgeous. I see you working on one of your templates over there. Get it, baby.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So is this your screen number 1?
Yes.
Perfect. So you did screen number 1. I'm able to see it. Okay. I can hear your voice. You're ready for class tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Did anyone else? I think who did I say was next?
So how do I stop sharing? No. Oh, I see.
Yep. Oh, you know what? And I can stop it too. Do you see where it's stop? Okay.
It's at the top.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
And I think I said, what was it? Was it Andrea that was next? Am I lying? Am I making it up? And Andrea, if you are here and you are next, then I told you that. Go ahead and unmute your mic for me and tell me what's, yep.
Yes, it's me. Hello.
Okay. Hey, love, I can hear you just fine. So let's go ahead. Do you have dual screens or do you have two devices?
I have two devices, but it's not allowing me to log back into the academy to pull it up on Zoom. I don't have my password, so I'm not going to be able to do it.
Okay, so let me do this because everyone in the chat has the Zoom link. Oh, you can't get into Zoom because you need the information to get into Zoom, right?
Right.
Okay, so what I would do then is just so the second device is like an iPad or what is it?
Yes, it's an iPad, exactly. Yes.
Okay, so are you able to on your computer copy and paste, like make a quick little email, copy and paste the Zoom details and email it to yourself and so that you can pull it up on your iPad or message, you know how you can, whatever kind of messaging or whatever you could do on the iPad, pull that messaging up. And then what you're probably going to have to do is download the Zoom app onto the iPad.
Okay.
You probably don't want to use the web browser. You want to actually have the app. The web browser uses a lot more energy and it shuts down more frequently for those who don't know, especially when you're doing like Photoshop and stuff. Okay. So if you have the ability to use the app or the actual software that it makes you download on your computer, that's the only way that I can actually edit your screen is if you have the software. If you do it through the web browser, you will not be able to share your screen. Okay. It won't give you those permissions.
Okay. Should I try to do it now to see if we can do it?
Go ahead. While we're talking, go ahead and do it now. Y'all have me for about another 10 minutes. I want to make sure that everybody's good for tomorrow. And if y'all are good to go for tonight.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, I see it, baby. That's it. And I see your Photoshop. You in there. So all you have to do now is just make sure that you can log into Zoom from your iPad. And as long as you can get on the Zoom from your iPad, you're golden. You're ready to go.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome.
Is there anybody else?
Anyone else? And if not, then we're making great time. We're right on time tonight. We might even be in it 2 minutes early.
2 minutes in the morning.
All right. So, and then for those who are, watching this in order to have work prepared for tomorrow, the thing that you have to have prepared is you're going to go and download the template for class. It's going to be a simple template for class. Okay. Simple template for class. You're going to open that template up before you even open up Zoom tomorrow. So you're going to open it up in Photoshop tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Please don't touch anything. Don't edit anything yet. I know some of us are super OGs, even coaches or even my level of Photoshop skills still. Please don't move ahead. Okay. We want to keep things in order. We know this is being recorded. Some of us are working on this for the very, very first time. I want this to be a great experience. I want to make sure that everyone leaves really accomplished and not feeling confused or that they were, misguided in any way. Okay. So let's keep it together. Let's do it together. And for those who are experts, you will be able to show people that you're experts without moving ahead and showing off and confusing the class. Okay. Felicia says, log into Zoom on your iPad first so you can see the Zoom link and then on your other screen. Sounds good. Okay. And Ms. Jones, it's okay. If your Photoshop does not look like that, now you want to make sure you have the latest version of Photoshop. It's a subscription version now. So if you have the old version of Photoshop where you could download it on as many computers as you wanted and you never have to renew it from month to month, that's that old thing. And that old thing was nice when it was nice, but that old thing is not going to do the functions that we need it to do now, especially with the smart objects, the smart colors, some of the advanced features that we're using. We're using multiple strokes and, multiple effects and drop shadows and that sort of thing. You want to make sure that your Photoshop is up to date. Okay. And I think I have that in your, in the videos that it explains before you do the class too. Okay, perfect. So if you just downloaded it today, Miss Jones, what we're going to work on the workspace first thing tomorrow. So let's say your windows don't look like the same thing, your buttons don't look the same or whatever. That's perfectly fine. The first thing that we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to make sure that all those buttons and those windows look the same so nobody's confused. And I got you on that. Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. Everybody's great. I'm so excited. So it is now 10:01. And Emma says, have an innate night. Oh, excuse me. We're going to have an innate night tonight. All right. So listen, I appreciate you all. I love you dearly. What's you got to turn the mic off, Emma. They can still hear you on this one. Yes, it's the echo. So I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. And until next time, bye. See y'all tomorrow. Give yourself those high fives too. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
I hope we kept you up long enough.